hopefully it's the charm. I'm going to give you guys just a little bit of an overview of TrainingPeaks because I got some feedback that some people are struggling using it, or they don't know what to put in it, or they don't understand how it works. So I'm going to kind of walk you through a little bit of how TrainingPeaks works. I will say that last month in April, the calendar was a little bit messed up because I didn't know if we were going to be able to use old workouts, and I didn't want to delete the old workouts, and so I added other workouts on top of that and made it really unclear. But May is all cleaned up. We can only work 2 weeks at a time because that's all I know. So the first 2 weeks of May are pretty good. The second 2 weeks of May are still kind of tentative, but they're all workouts that you can do on your own. So when you go to the TrainingPeaks website right here, trainingpeaks.com, you'll get a screen that looks like this. This is where you're going to log in. You can also download the TrainingPeaks app to your phone, and you just go to the App Store and get it. It's free. And log in with all your login information, and then you should be able to see all your workouts there. The version of TrainingPeaks that you guys have is the basic version. That's what we give you for free through CWW. Basically, we pay for you to have that. And we have a training plan on there. So it's the whole group plan, and it's not as flexible as what you would get in TrainingPeaks if you were just individually connected to a coach, and then you would have something more individual for just you. Anyway, when you get here, here's the login spot. Becky is letting us use her account. You'll come to this. This is where you put your username. This is where you put your password. You guys know that. None of the coaches know what your login name or your password is, so you have to know what that is to put it in or create an account if you don't have one already. When you log in, this is what it should look like. This is your home page right here, and you can see Becky up here. If you click this for a drop-down menu, then it'll have settings, what's new, help, log out. Settings is probably what you put in for your profile that has like your email address and your username and things like that. Here is if you wanted to upgrade to premium, and what premium gives you is just a lot more data about your workouts. So if you're ever interested, it looks like they're giving you 2 chances here. You can upgrade there, you can upgrade here. You'll see on this homepage, you can see Big Ring had a run today. She also had a bike workout today. She did not do her bike workout. She did do a run. If you scroll down further for tomorrow, is that tomorrow? Yes, it will tell her, it gives you, or here it is actually. So you can actually see the description of the workout as well. So for her bike workout, it tells you what you're supposed to be doing. The swim workout, it tells you what you're supposed to be doing there as well. And then down, if you keep going down, it shows you what you have for tomorrow. I don't know if you can see that. If you go, and over here, she's got all of her, what she was hoping to do, her races. These are all the ones that were on the calendar. And she added her own race down there. And you can also add some goals if you want. That's the home page. If you go over here to calendar, then you can see the whole entire month. And when a workout is put in there that has a duration or a distance, and if you do that workout, it turns green. She did this workout, it turned green. She did not do this workout, so it stayed red. These gray ones are things that she put in herself. She decided to ride her bike that day, and so she logged that in by herself there. If you want to add in a workout, something that you're not doing that's already on the plan, you just come down into any one of these columns and see that little plus sign that lights up. You hit that plus sign, and then here's add a workout. So say she wanted to add another run. You'd click on run, and then you'd put run up here. You can put how far you plan to go, and then when you complete it, this will turn green as well. And then after you put that workout in, you save and close. Ooh, so I just added I think I did that twice. I better delete these because this is her real thing here. Okay, So if you want to see what kind of information is gathered on all of your workouts, oh, over here you probably can see too. These are kind of a summary of how many hours she worked out for the week, how far she ran in the week, what other workouts added up to for a week. This is talks about a training stress score. I'll tell you about what that is. This is how many miles she rode. This is how far she climbed. This is about how many calories she took in, calories consumed. So I think Big Ring must have her Fitbit um, connected to Training Peaks because right here is kind of a summary. So somehow she downloaded. I don't really know how to do that because I never work with that part of it. But let's go look over here on this bike workout that she did. Well, no, let's not because let me just say, okay, so what she did with this bike workout is she didn't have it. She didn't have her heart rate monitor on. She didn't have her cadence sensor going, her speed sensor going, her power meter on, her Garmin on, her GPS on. She didn't have any of that. She just rode for an hour and 15, and then the program figures out she burned 562 calories, and they figure that out because when you do your settings, you put how much you weigh and how tall you are and those kind of metrics. It then gives you a chance to say, how did you feel? I felt strong. I felt medium. I felt normal. I felt, on a scale of basically 1 to 5. And this perceived exertion, we've talked about that basically on a scale of 1 to 10. Here's 1, here's 10. And if you slide that over to about where you felt like you were, I'm going to slide this over to her to moderate, just to say it was sort of a medium ride. That will then calculate some of these other metrics on this side when you save and close it. Let me just see if it did. It did not. It remembers that. But I think like here, this bike, I think okay. So on this bike, she did wear her heart rate monitor. And I know that because down here it says what her minimum, what her average, what her maximum. But also all these other little items are filled in. So she rode for 45 minutes. She went 10.2 miles in that time. She had an average speed about of 13 miles an hour. These are how many calories they estimate. She had a 171-foot gain or loss in elevation. Her training stress score for this, it's based on heart rate. So it says heart rate, TSS, was 48. And her intensity factor, IF, is 76. So what the training stress score, if you're interested in knowing what that is, it's a combination of the amount of time that you're riding and the intensity of the workout itself. So they do all these internal calculations and come up with a score. And it estimates, basically when you have that training stress score, it then estimates what your training load is. And we do not get into all of this information in the group setting. If you ever were doing this individually with an individual coach, you can use your training stress score to kind of plan your whole season of workouts. I just want you to know what it is and what it reflects. The intensity factor basically is how hard or how intense your workout was. So it's basically on a scale of 0 to 1. 1 is the highest intensity factor. And this is based on relative to your FTP, which FTP is the speed and the power and the effort you can maintain for an entire hour. So this is getting kind of a little more than you want to know, but you at least know what those numbers are. If you look at her run, she's got a little RTSS, and that's again because she was wearing a heart rate monitor. And she was also wearing a running watch for this one because she's got her average, what her average pace was, 9:55. How fast she went at the fastest time, 8:54. Pretty good, Big Ring. And again, calculated the same thing. She put in the time, she put in the distance. Here's her average. Here's how many calories she burned. Here's her elevation change. Here's her training stress score. It's R for running versus the other one was based on heart rate for cycling. And here's her intensity factor. So she really worked hard on this run. She was at a 1.01, which is pretty hard. Again, she could rate how she felt. She could put her perceived rate of exertion, which I would guess with this intensity factor, she was over here somewhere. And the other thing is you can do is you can enter a comment, and we will see these. Your coaches can see these if you want to enter. This was really easy. I got too hot. I started too slowly, and I should have, or I finished, I started too fast, and I burned out at the end. Any of those comments can go right there. Save and close. So that's that. Now up here you'll see we've done home, we've done calendar, dashboard. Again, you're not going to see a ton because this is just the basic version versus the premium version, but it does break down the summary of what's the percentage of the time you spent in doing each discipline. So for like over here, you can see this is her fitness summary. She was 42 for the week, I think. 42.4% running, 19.4 biking, other, which is like walking or whatever. Or no, there's walking, so it's other stuff that she did. Swimming, this was back when she could swim. So that's kind of fun to look at. Over here, it gives you a list of all these charts that are available that unfortunately you can't get. But you don't really need to. If you get really into it, you can do it then. I think that's all for this. That's it. If you have any questions, let me know. So, oh yeah, I was going to tell you. So here's starting tomorrow or today, Monday. Well, she added this in. This is Becky's. That was one that she did. This is everything that we've put in. We've got this week done. This week has still got some holes in it because we're not sure if we can get together or not. If we can, then I'll give you more details about where we can meet on some of these. And that's the same with this week. So it'll get filled in probably in 2-week increments. I put a couple things in there because I'm really, really hopeful. But that's how that works. If you have any questions, let me know. And see you guys all soon. Take care.